Well, hey there, friendships. Welcome back to Curtis Corner. If you're new here, hi, I'm Curtis. This is my corner. And on today's Movie Monday, we are going to be discussing some highly anticipated horror releases for next year. I am so excited for quite a few of these. Some of them are a little lower on my list, but there's still things I will definitely be going out to see. So if you're interested in hearing and seeing the types of movies that are coming out for next year, then keep on watching. So before we jump into things, be sure to give this video a like for all horror content, along with subscribing to this channel and hitting the notification bell so you're knowing when I'm posting my weekly videos. Also, if you go and check the description box down below, you can see a link to my Patreon where you are able to join for only $1 and have creative control of the content that I'm going to be putting out onto this channel, as well as getting early access to all of my videos before they come live on YouTube. Click the link below, join the friend zone, and I will see you there. But for now, let's jump into the list of all the upcoming horror movies of 2024. So on January 5th, to start off our year, we're going to have Blumhouse's new film called Night Swim. The premise of this film is simply people buy a house, the pool ends up being haunted with some type of entity or spirit, and it's out to get them. It's going to be clearly very simple, very cheesy. It's a January release, which means most times it's probably going to be bad. But it's going to be one of those fun, bad movies that you're just going to sit through. It might suck, but it's probably going to have like a lot of fun moments where you just sit back and you're like, you know what? I've seen worse. It is a Blumhouse film. The premise of a haunted pool I don't think has ever been done before, and it's very intriguing. The first trailer, however, it does kind of make it seem a little bit questionable just because it's a game of Marco Polo, and when the person's not responding, normally a normal person would open their eyes and be like, okay, what's going on? But this person kept their eyes closed the entire time. It's like you kind of subvert your belief in what's happening. But otherwise, I think it's just going to be a quick, easy, fun, I have nothing to do, let's go and check it out movie. Now, speaking of cheesy films, our next film, also in January, is Founders Day. This is going to be coming out January 19th. It takes premise over a mayoral election, and think of it like Happy Death Day, Scream, It's a Wonderful Knife, Totally Killer, Thanksgiving. It's very much a, here's a holiday, here's a mass killer, who's doing it? It's probably going to be a very obvious reveal of who has done it, but I'm a sucker for these holiday themed horror films, and we desperately need more. And I think there should be a whodunit serial killer for every type of holiday. We've done every kind of holiday film, like be it creature feature, although I think there should be more creature feature holiday films as well. But I think whodunit slashers based around a holiday is so fun. I'm really looking forward to this one as well. I know it's going to be cheesy. I know it's going to be just stupid fun, but I'm here for it. Speaking of stupid fun, I think this one is going to be a very hit or miss for a lot of people, but I'm kind of looking forward to it. This is for Lisa Frankenstein, and it comes out February 9th. This is kind of a flip the switch version of the story of Frankenstein. Instead of Victor Frankenstein, we have Lisa Frankenstein. Instead of him creating this monster, she's creating what seems to be like a perfect boy to be her date or something. Now, the creature is being played by Cole Sprouse, and you also have Catherine Newton, who is playing Lisa. I think this is going to be such a fun and interesting take on this type of a story. I'm getting more like Young Frankenstein meets Warm Bodies put together. It looks fun. Plus, on top of that, it is, as far as I know, the directorial debut of Zelda Williams, which is Robin Williams' daughter. We need his legacy to live on through others, and this is a great way to do that. So, Zelda, I look forward to seeing what you are bringing to this table. Another one that's going to be a hit or miss. February 16th, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2. I can't wait for this. I actually really thoroughly enjoyed the first one. It wasn't as bad as a lot of people were saying. Yeah, it wasn't great, and I think give it like a 1.5 or a 2.5 star rating on Letterboxd, but it was a fun film to sit through and enjoy. I enjoyed the different take that they have on these classic lovable characters, and I'm super excited that with the bigger budget that they've received and the new characters that they're going to be bringing in, a different story to be able to tell and flesh out these characters a lot more. I know we're getting some backstory to like Christopher and Winnie the Pooh together. I'm really looking forward to what is coming up, and I'm highly expecting it to have almost like a Terrifier 2 treatment, where the first one was tame in comparison and the next one is just going to elevate it to the next level, and I am here here for it. So now the next one, March 8th, we have another Blumhouse film. This is called Imaginary. The premise of this film is very, very intriguing. Be it a woman, grown up, comes back to her childhood home, and her imaginary friend that she had as a child is angry at her, resents her for abandoning them and leaving them behind, and they're out for vengeance. I think this is such a fun and interesting premise. I think that there is a lot of promise that they could do. The only thing that really worries me is that they're just going to genericize this imaginary creature to kind of be this like human, or this at least humanoid entity that's coming after her.
Spoiler alert for The Boy.
Kind of like what they did with The Boy, where you think it's the doll, but then it's really not the doll. But if it's only just the one scene that you see this kind of human entity with, I'll be quite okay with that, because then that shows that it can kind of like swap and change forms, which would be a really, really cool and interesting aspect to this new type of a villain. So now we're gonna jump forward a couple months, because there's nothing coming out in April or May, at least nothing that's been on my radar or been said yet. There could be films that I haven't really looked too much into, or that I'm not super like interested in seeing to make this list. But June 28th, we actually have two films that come out this day. The first one being Horrorscope.
Hi, editing me again. I just wanted to let you know that while I was editing this, Bloody Disgusting actually tweeted an entire article that they did in regards to Horrorscope. It doesn't actually come out June 28th now. It is being pushed forward and will now be released on May 10th. I guess to avoid conflict with the next movie that I will be talking about after this one. But yeah, a month and a half earlier, I'm still ready for it. Okay, back to the video.
So this is Jacob Batalon's basically front and center debut. He's always been like kind of like a side character in everything that he's been in, but this time he's going to be at like the forefront. As far as I know, he is the main character of this film, and it's basically everyone that's in this film gets a horoscope reading, and then they die in the way that their horoscope is. So supernatural, I'm assuming, and kind of like a Zodiac version of Final Destination. I think that is a fun premise. I think it is also going to be just very dumb, stupid fun. But there is an idea there, and I really hope that the story that they're going to tell with this is going to be very good, because the premise of it already has my attention grasped and ready to go. The second film that is coming out on this day is A Quiet Place Day One. Now this is a prequel that is taking place before even the very first. We got like a little snippet of it in A Quiet Place Part 2, but this is going to be an entire film dedicated to the very first day that the aliens came and landed on Earth, and how everyone is kind of dealing with it. We have Lupita Nyong'o and we have Joseph Quinn being the star roles in this film as well. It's still being produced by John Krasinski, and he is helping to write the entire film of this as well. They are, I believe, in post-production right now, and I'm thoroughly excited for everything that's going to happen. I really enjoy how much character building there is in this world. I really enjoy the design and the concept of the aliens. I enjoy the atmosphere that this entire series brings, and I think because it's day one and they don't really understand that you have to be quiet, I feel like we're going to actually get a different take on this world, where people are making noise, people are getting attacked left, right, and center, and there is going to be an extreme sense of danger, because you can't control what is happening when no one knows how to control it. And I'm really excited to see how this all plays out. Now, I think one of our biggest blockbusters of the summer is going to be happening on August 16th with Alien Romulus. I'm super excited that Alien is coming back to the forefront of everything with the succession of Prey, how it reinvigorated the franchise of Predator. This, I think, is going to reinvigorate the franchise of Alien. Everyone always talks about Alien and Aliens being basically the standout of the entire franchise. That is where everyone's criticisms come from to all of the other films in the franchise, and they hold the high standard of what is to expect from an Alien film. This being a midquel instead of a prequel or a sequel is going to flesh out this world, I think, a whole lot more, and really give insight as to kind of what's happening, because this takes place between the first and the second Alien film. I'm really excited to see what they're going to do, if they're going to do like slight tie-ins, or if they're going to do heavy tie-ins with the two films, or if it's just kind of going to be its own standalone but just taking place during the two films. I'm not really sure, but I'm excited to find out what's happening. I'm excited to see all the first looks with the first trailer that drops. I'm just excited for this film. Bring on more xenomorphs. Now we're getting ready for back to school. You know what that means. Beetlejuice 2, September 6th. Beetlejuice 2, I have been waiting for years. I think like back in like 2016, 17 is when they first announced that Beetlejuice 2 was possibly going to be a thing. And then we ended up getting confirmation about Beetlejuice 2 just before the pandemic, I believe. And then the pandemic hit, everything kind of stopped, but you know, you could still write. Then we had the writer's strike and just everything's finally done filming and it's in post-production right now. I am so happy. Michael Keaton coming back. We have Winona Ryder coming back. Jenna Ortega's jumping on board. This is going to be such a good sequel because I know Tim Burton doesn't just make sequels to make sequels. He writes everything out and makes sure that he has a good story before jumping in and starting to like put it into production and film it and everything. Tim Burton obviously is one of my very favorite directors. I know he's going to give this sequel the justice that it deserves, and everyone is going to come out loving it. I have high hopes for this one. Now flash forward 20 days later on September 26th, and we get the remake of The Crow. This has Bill Skarsgård in it, and like I said, it's a remake. Yeah, I've never seen the original. I feel like I'm probably going to watch the original one before going to see this one, just so I can kind of get some background information on kind of how it was made, what it looks like, get the concept of everything before actually really going in. But I remember seeing the trailer for it and really enjoying kind of like the aesthetic and how like gothic and dark it was. And I'm excited to see Bill Skarsgård kind of in this like darker superhero-esque sort of tone of a movie while also bringing in some horror elements as well. This, I think, is going to be a very good film. I feel like there's going to be a lot of respect for the source material because the people that are involved seem to know what they're doing, and that's what I'm hoping for. Give me something that you know what you're doing and what you're using, and bring it to me. Flesh it out. That's what I want. October 18th, it's time to start getting spooky again. We have Smile 2, a film I did not expect to actually get a sequel, but we're getting it. I'm excited for it because especially how it ended off with the first one. I'm wondering, are we going to flesh out this kind of entity, pass it along, chainmail type situation, demon thing? Are we going to figure out if there's an actual way to stop it? Are we going to have returning people coming back, or is it just going to focus on a whole bunch of new people? There's a lot of questions, but I'm really hoping that there's some characters coming back because there's one person at the end of the film that I would love to see come back in this one. You know who you are. I'm watching you and I want you back. October 25th. October 25th, I think, is by far my most anticipated day for this year, is because that is Terrifier 3. I just recently watched Terrifier and Terrifier 2 and All Hallows Eve just to really get as much art as I possibly could. Now, All Hallows Eve was fine, but Terrifier and Terrifier 2, especially Terrifier 2, really made me love Art the Clown. Funny and yet so sadistic. I love the Terrifier movies. They are so good. And I need more. Like, give me a 4, give me a 5, give me a 10. I need more. I'm super excited. I'm excited that it's like a Christmas theme because, again, holiday horror plus Art the Clown. It's going to be so over the top. Hearing the news about how controversial it's already starting to be, oh, I am ready. And you best believe that if it comes to a theater near me, I am going to see it ASAP. Plus the fact that there are people from Terrifier 2 who are returning and continuing on. I don't know if it was just a picture at a convention as well, but there was a picture floating around where it had the actors who played Sienna and Jonathan with Neve Campbell. I'm like, oh my gosh, please tell me Neve Campbell is going to be in Terrifier 3 because I would need that. I need that. My only other question about Terrifier 3 is, are we going to get more background info on him? Because we have no idea how he is constantly surviving and coming back with the end of every film. It's very up in the air. There's a lot of smoke and clouds around his being, and I need some answers. Now, another double feature we might have to do, December 25th, Christmas Day. We've got Nosferatu. That is another remake of the original black and white film, silent film. Bill Skarsgård is going to be taking over the role of Count Orlok. I cannot wait. When I tell you how much I love Bill Skarsgård, you won't even believe me. I'm just excited for him to look ugly. Like, even Pennywise was like ugly, but like kind of not. I'm excited for Bill Skarsgård to look ugly because I think that's going to be the biggest challenge of the film, is making him not look good. I'm excited to see Lily Rose Depp in her role. I'm excited to see Nicholas Hoult in his role in this. There's just a whole lot that I'm excited for, and the fact that it's not going to be a silent film, it's going to actually have dialogue in it. I'm excited. Bring it on. Give me more vampires. Now, the last film that's coming out this year, same day, 25th, Christmas Day, is the Untitled Jordan Peele horror film. I have no idea. No one knows. No one knows what this is. All we know is Jordan Peele's coming, and he's writing, and he's producing, and he's directing. That's it. We don't know what it's about, who's going to be in it, nothing. There's zero information about what this film is. The only information we have is that it's by Jordan Peele and it's coming out Christmas Day. All I know is we can probably expect there to be a stellar cast with great performances, a great story, some very apparent social commentary. That's about it. That's all that I know is going to be in this. I liked Get Out. I loved Us. I really enjoyed Nope. Is this also going to be a film that has 1 to 3 words in it, like title-wise? Who's to say? Jordan Peele, please give us some answers. We're all dying to hear. Now we've come to the portion of the video where we talk about the to-be-announced films. These are films that have been said they are coming out in 2024. We just don't know when. Like, we're a month away, less than a month away. You might want to start either A, releasing some trailers, or B, releasing some dates, because we got lots here. Maxxxine, #1. What's it about? I'm trying not to really look too much into things until, we actually have some good amount of information. We don't really have a lot of information on these films, except that they're coming in 2024, and maybe a tidbit here and there of who's in it. We know that this takes place after X. I know Halsey's in it. We know it's going to be a whodunit slasher. That's it. Give me some more info on Maxxxine, please. The One is another one that's coming out. That's going to star Melissa Barrera. I don't know. The only thing that I know is that she is going to be on a reality show, and it's basically horror meets The Bachelor. The way the premise was made it sound like she was the crazy one, and she was going to go on a killing rampage and try and be the one that ends up with Nicholas Hoult, who's playing The Bachelor in this. But it could also be flipped, and she could be trying to survive The Bachelor, or survive one of the other girls. Or maybe it's kind of like a battle royale where they're all fighting each other and the last one standing gets him. Who knows? There's a lot of different ways that this could go, but I'm very excited to see how this plays out and what it's going to look like. Speaking of Melissa Barrera, we have the Radio Silence Universal Monster film. We do not know. I think it's Universal. We don't know. We don't know what this film is going to be. My guess is probably going to be like a Bride of Frankenstein, because Melissa Barrera, Radio Silence really wanted to get their hands on a monster film. They really wanted Melissa Barrera. Melissa Barrera is very much a hot topic right now because of everything that Spyglass, shame on you, did to her, shame on you. And now that she's not in Scream, shame on you again, Spyglass. We're all going to go out and support Melissa Barrera as much as we can. I'm really looking forward to this one. I have no idea what the monster is, but again, my guess is going to be like a Bride of Frankenstein style type of monster. Give me it. Give me it. I need it right now. More info, please. The Strangers Trilogy. We know all 3 films have been filmed. They were filmed back to back to back. We know they're all coming out next year. When? We know that Madison Pesh is in all 3. Thanks for ruining that, director. Couldn't have left a little bit of surprise. It was very ambiguous with Liv Tyler's ending of the first original Strangers, but now you've confirmed, oh, she's surviving 2 films. We don't know her fate in the 3rd. We also know that we're going to get some background info on these people. There are 3 sketchy looking people by their IMDb photos I'm calling right now as being the killers. The 3 characters that I think are going to be the people behind the masks are Howard, Shelley, and Jasmine. Mark my words, I'm marking it right now. Howard, Shelley, Jasmine. Those are the 3 strangers, and they're out for revenge. They're going to be a close friend of Madeline's character, whatever her name is. I don't know. Judy. We're calling her Judy. I just checked, it's Maya. But still. Those 3 are going to be like really close to her, and they're the ones who are going to be out to get her for whatever reason. Maybe she did something to them when they were in kindergarten. Who knows? Another film, Stephen King. I need the people behind this one. Salem's Lot. I'm ready for it. Again, it's vampires. We love a good vampire. I need more info. I know it's a remake or a retelling, but I need more. The cast looks pretty good, but I need more. Give me more. More. Thread. Thread is an Insidious tale. This is a spin-off film of the Insidious universe. I don't know what is going to happen with this one. I kind of have low expectations for this one because I feel like there's tales you can tell by giving it just the Insidious name. But now that you've been Thread, does that mean we're going to be talking about all the other entities that have kind of been in there? Or is it still going to focus on Lin Shaye's character? Is Lin Shaye even going to be in it? Are there going to be other returning people from the main franchise kind of making cameos here and there? I don't know. I'll need to see a trailer. I'll need to get a story premise. I'm gonna need a lot of info on this one to really hype up my excitement. But right now, it almost feels like it's out. Was this really needed? Probably not. Our final film on this list is Return to Silent Hill. I thoroughly enjoyed the first Silent Hill that came out in 2006. I thought that was really fun. Now, I've never played the games, but I've heard aesthetically and kind of story-wise, the first one, a lot of the gamers who've played and loved the game really enjoyed the film as well. I know a lot of people hated Revelations, which came out 6 years later. I kind of liked it, but again, that's because I don't play the games. I did enjoy it, not as much as the first one, but I did enjoy it because I was very confused because I heard that it was a sequel when it was first coming out, and then I was very confused with the fact that Shannon was now going by Heather and Christopher was now being called Henry, but then they quickly explained it within the first little bit of the film. I was happy with that, so I got my clarity. Could it have been better? Absolutely. This one, the premise of this seems like it's following something that was created but never released. I am excited because I like the world of Silent Hill and how it visually looks and all the creatures in it. I'm excited to see more Pyramid Head, the nurses, all of that. But it's called Return to, which tells me, okay, it's a sequel to the previous two. But upon investigation, it's not a sequel to the previous two. It's a complete reboot. So why are we returning when it's a reboot? And there's nothing prior to this one to set up for this one. You should have done a reboot called Silent Hill and then the sequel be Return to Silent Hill. So again, I need to know the premise. Are we like, why is it called Return to Silent Hill? Unless it's just the working title. Maybe it is just going to be called Silent Hill. I don't know. I'm still excited, but I'm very confused. So hopefully you enjoyed this list. If you did, make sure you give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for weekly videos and hit that notification bell so you know when I post a brand new video, because if you don't, how else are you going to know? You won't. So do it. Let me know down in the comments if I left out any special type of horror films that are coming out in 2024 that you are excited for. Let me know the premise, or let me know some trailers to look up so maybe I can be excited for some new ones that are coming out next year. I will see everyone on Thursday for a brand new makeup video, but until then, bye friendships.